You shot him down, so now he wants to shoot me and Felix down.
All three of you shot me down. If you really want to be for real about it. Okay.
No.
Hey,
Okay.
You shot yourself down.
Hey, Pucho and Tony, do you guys want to start your own music podcast?
Yeah, you see how this is manipulation 101 in this motherfucker.
Oh, he just walked off camera.
But I do. Oh, salud. When it comes to our friendship or any friendship with your friends and stuff, the manipulations in friendships, like, you know, the passive aggressive comments, the guilt trips, you know, being charming and shit like that, are they all the same? Or is it different?
It's a good question. I've had this conversation before with a good buddy of mine about whether they're a good buddy of mine named Josh, actually, a friend of the pod. Joey knows him. We've had several conversations about this. Like, is manipulation built into friendships? Is there such a thing as being charming, or is that just a nice word for being manipulative?
I think it might be in who you're doing it to, right? Like who you being charming to.
Well, being charming is just a form of manipulation. Like that's my take on it, because like the act of charming someone is getting them to do something that they not necessarily are against doing, but it's not something that they were going to do, right? So is it a manipulation? Are there levels of manipulation that are acceptable? Like where is the line, and how do you find that out?
Yeah, I mean, the way that you've just described it basically means every interaction is a form of manipulation. So you have to draw the line somewhere to say, this is where it gets bad. Because, like, just asking someone for a favor, like, even if there's no malintent, it's like, by the way that, you know, you're kind of saying, it's like asking someone to do something that they wouldn't have done. It's like, yo, hey, could you give me a ride? It's like, all right, I'll give you a ride. It's like I manipulated him into giving me, I don't know. It feels like being charming is definitely a form of manipulation. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know, that it feels weird to say, because ultimately you're trying to be like polite and respectful and things like that. But you're kind of doing that to gain something, right?
Yeah. I think the charming part, when it comes from a woman, there's definitely some manipulation going on there, 100%.
But not from the men.
From the men too, but more so from the females.
I don't find a majority of women to be charming.
Damn.
If you ask me, I don't think a lot of women have charmed me in my lifetime.
Maybe you don't know the right one yet, or you haven't ran into the right one yet?
I would disagree with that statement just based on what I know about you. I think you've definitely been charmed. I think you would use a different word for it, but I think it's the same thing. I think the results are the same.
You probably got charmed so much you don't even know what it is not to be charmed.
He got manipulated with the pussy. and that's a form of charm.
I might be looking at things in a bad view.
Yeah, I think charm tends to have like a masculine association with it. Like you find men like a Prince Charming, right? But I mean, charm is basically just like you turn up the respect, and you turn up maybe the flirtatiousness,
the seduction,
or like things of that nature.
You lick your lips.
I think that's what Tony's speaking to.
Yeah.
Which is like women being seductive in order to get you to do something that you wouldn't normally do.
A woman only has to buy me a shot at the bar to be seductive. That's about all they have to do. Let's go.
Doey's charm, like his charm, like prevention score is real low.
It's like it's barely there.
You make eye contact, that man's gonna do what you want him to do.
Damn,
it's pretty bad. No, I have a Tammy already.
What is a Tammy?
From
you guys ever watch Parks and Recs?
Oh,
refresh my memory.
Explain it for the listeners.
Yeah, you know Ron Swanson, Tony.
Yes.
There's a woman. He has a former wife. In fact, his mother's name is Tammy, and I think 3 of his ex-wives are named Tammy. So he has a Tammy problem.
The problem is my grandfather's is Francesco. It sucks.
Oh
Francesco.
God,
It's the worst.
Yeah, we're muting this. So, Tammy basically is like she pulls up and he turns into a whole different dude. Dude had the cornrows. He was dressed. He was disheveled as fuck. He was like an alcoholic. Like it was.
He partied.
Yeah, he enjoyed himself,
like
but
shit.
it brought the worst out of him.
Like a Frank Gallagher.
No, that guy's a piece of shit. No. I'm just saying, like, here's a seemingly normal person who does normal shit, and he's pretty on top of his life. And there's some people that just bring the worst out in you. Tammy brings the worst out of him, and he's just spiraling out of control, making terrible decisions. Okay. Doughie's saying he has a Tammy.
What if Doughboy is the Tammy?
Tammy to who? If I might be somebody's Tammy.
He's probably Tony's Tammy. You guys bring out the worst in each other sometimes.
That nigga is definitely a Tammy. That nigga's a Tam, Scrutiny Tam.
What was that shit before the podcast? The energy level just dipped. Like there was just a noticeable change in atmosphere the second you two started interacting with that OBS shit.
Nah,
Tony's like, hey, let's go down one at a time. Tony's like, the answer to all of them is no, except number 13. Number 13 is yes. Doughie's like, I can't think like that. Let's just go one at a time and just tell me.
It's just a waste of time.
It's all no.
It's just a waste of time.
I thought y'all were both bugging personally.
Like Mateo got it, you got it. This nigga is on some other shit.
He didn't get it, so help him his way.
I'm not a teacher. I'm not here to be teaching niggas how to do one by one. I gave you the answers. Here's the cheat sheet, nigga. Take it. I want you to teach me. Well, get the fuck out of here. I'm not a teacher, nigga.
That's fucked up. It's for the pod. Ain't willing to put in work for the pod.
I gave the
doesn't give a damn about the pod.
So is that right there? Is that an example of manipulation? Is that
100%?
100%.
I want him to feel bad because I think he's being a piece of shit.
I guess
I'm just a piece of shit.
That's his favorite line. That, oh my God, that's Joey's main manipulation right there. Is like, I guess no one cares about what I'm talking about. I'm just a piece of shit. I'm here talking to myself.
Meanwhile, he just cuts everybody off and gets mad when we cut him off. That's some real dick shit. Matter of fact, Doughboy's a master manipulator and a guilt tripper. He has mastered it since he was born. I think
a number of things that he says, I would say, is very high on my dude. That's manipulative.
Listen,
but I think there's levels in terms of like intent. And I mean, it kind of goes back to our conversation. Intent. Does it matter? Like what? Like if someone shoots you, does it matter what they intended to do? And I feel like, and sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know. There's definitely an extent to how harmful an action is if someone intended it or not.
What are the acceptable times for someone to shoot you? Is it like you're hunting and they make a mistake? Is that the only acceptable time?
There is no acceptable times for this shit.
I mean, if you're Contessa from the hit web serial by Wild Bow, Worm, she knows she could figure out a plan to do anything. So let's say you had cancer, she could grab a gun and shoot you in the exact spot to cure your cancer.
Oh
so
my
I think
God.
she could pull it off.
I got a funny meme for right now. I stand behind Alec Baldwin because I damn sure ain't standing in front of that.
Damn. How fucking terrible for that man. I hate feeling bad for Alec Baldwin, but how fucking terrible for that man, dude. I feel so bad for that. Like someone else's actions causing you to kill someone. That's fucking shitty.
I mean, did the whole story come out yet?
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson vows to never work on another set with live ammunition and or actual working pistols.
That shit is wild.
There's a lot of shit coming out with that story. Apparently, like the armorer was like inexperienced. The directors had some shit previously with firearm accidents on films that they've like. There's all kinds of shit coming out. I don't know who's going to get the full blame for this shit.
Yeah, I think
but it's a mess.
I think it ultimately comes down to like, what were the rules on that set? Like, and that's it. And where they followed.
Wait, we're doing a 1-up tangent though. Manipulation in
Yeah,
friendships.
we're definitely doing a 1-up tangent.
Froze.
Out
Yeah.
there, we did a tangent like a motherfucker. Yeah, guilt trips and shit. And passive aggressive. I think everyone here has a passive aggressive ability for sure.
I think I'm the most passive aggressive.
Oh my god, yeah, you are.
I would agree with that.
You
I- honestly,
with his part.
Honestly, I think I'm pretty low on the passive aggressiveness. I tend to just tell people I don't like what you're doing right now. Like, I just try to do that. People don't like that shit either. So, I mean, it might as well be a manipulative piece of shit, you know?
I tend to peace out whenever like the conversation is really going, and like if I don't care either way, I just don't respond. I just peace out. I'm just like, you guys, I'll pop in once you guys are done doing your nonsense to each other.
Yeah.
It just be like the passive aggressive shit. That shit's like an easy like, yo, like stop being around the fucking bush, my nigga, and act like a man. Like, you know what I mean? Hit you with that slap. You can act like a man. Yeah.
You just pulled this move the other day.
Who?
You.
What move?
Well, remember we were talking about the Wolverine podcast? I was asking if it ties in to the Wolverine video game. And the ending remark that you dropped was basically, yeah, you know, because Pucho doesn't like to accept my responses.
It's a
like
fact.
that's clearly you're trying to be passive aggressive. Like, it's like, all right, why don't you act like a man, Tony, according to your own words?
Is there a certain amount of like passive aggressiveness and like manipulations built into friendships? Is that like, is that a thing?
I think friendships are built on it. I'm gonna be completely honest.
Is it the closer that you are to someone, the more likely that you are to pull some nonsense like that? Is it our job as the person receiving this shit to call it out and be like, hey, just ask me the damn question and don't try to manipulate me into the answer you want?
I'm jealous. I'm a jealous bitch. I don't like that Tony doesn't chill with me anymore.
And what? Like,
The
what does that
ultimate
even mean?
fucking silence. That shit was awkward.
That shit was awkward for real.
So, yeah, right.
Is that an aspect to it though? Is jealousy in friendships also like? Are we talking about just the toxicity of friendships
That
in
shit
general now?
Absolutely, because that's what I just wanted to speak to. There's a level of things, and I find that passive aggressiveness, guilt tripping, trying to get people to do what you want, and even like Doey just said, Tony doesn't chill with me anymore. Even that, all that is super toxic. Like I tend to guilt trip Tony a lot, like in terms of like he don't be around no more, he don't play games, he don't fuck with me, blah 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 blah. But at the end of the day, that is just being toxic. Like, let people do what they want to do. If he don't want to fuck with people no more, just let it ride out.
Here's a take for me. I would love to game with y'all more, but our only time to game is on the weekends, and my weekends tend to be pretty full.
Tell them about our Dead Space 3 journey.
Oh my God, what a garbage game. Who possibly designed the camera in that fucking game? Where they're like, you know what it needs to be? It needs to be on his right shoulder. It needs to be 5 feet to the right. Your guy, he should be like in the bottom left corner of the screen, and that's what you see.
Can't you adjust it on the settings?
I don't think you can.
That's fucking terrible.
That game made us feel nauseous the last weekend when we played it.
Is meant for consoles.
That shit.
You want to know what the real problem is? That Doey's a piece of shit. He made me buy this game. We played it a number of hours. I had similar complaints. I told him I was unwilling to continue playing this game. He tried to guilt trip me. Wow, we bought a game and you don't even want to play it with me.
The weakest of fucking
I was
guilt.
just like, nah, I can't. And the other day when he told me, yeah, you know, me and Mateo played Dead Space 3, I felt so bad. I'm like, yo, you convinced him to buy Dead Space 3? You're a piece of shit.
He guilt tripped me into buying it because he said he bought it and you wouldn't fuck with him in that game anymore.
Wow. Do you understand why?
Yes. That game is so bad.
I have to admit, that game What a fucking piece of shit. Yo, they said, let's take the Dead Space franchise, crumble it up into a ball, and throw it in the garbage. What a terrible game. None of it makes sense. And it was very noticeable. My 5th time playing through the first section of the game. It's bad. The game should be buried.
So getting back to the friendship stuff specifically, I don't know. I mainly think like a lot of the things that we do and the things that are normal, like it's almost like something we're taught to do with our friends. I think it's incredibly toxic. Like,
is it fear that drives it? Is that what it is? Is it like Doey said? Doey said that he's a jealous friend, and I think a lot of that was joking, but I think there's a little bit of truth there, right?
Absolutely.
Because we do get jealous of our friends. Like that's a thing. That's a normal thing. I don't know if it's a good thing, but I think it's a normal thing. I think most people get jealous of their friends. It's like, oh, they tell you a story about, oh, well, yeah, I was kicking it with so and so last week. I was like, well, shit, I didn't get an invite.
No,
why?
Tony and Felix were bonding over music this week, and I was like this in the corner.
Hilarious.
Just like this in the corner.
So is it a bad thing that we need to correct? And how do you go about correcting something like that?
I think we need to like take a step back, right? And be like, all right, did someone wrong me? Did someone do something towards me? And in that case, no. 2 people were just enjoying music and having a conversation. Yeah. Had nothing to do with Doe. Doe had no reason to feel jealous or slighted or anything along those lines. So I feel like his behavior should be corrected in that situation.
Now, so in this sentence, though, we're talking about Felix, our seducer and producer.
Our seducer
and producer. Him and Tony had this big, oh, look at this album. I'm just like Mac Miller faces.
For the audio listeners, Doey's sitting there, pouty face, big bottom lip, arms crossed, looking extra sad.
That's terrible that you feel like that.
They enjoying their life. Oh, the music is so good. And I'm just...
For our video listeners, this is definitely a sign that we're about to start doing our audio podcast. So y'all just sit tight.
I just don't understand why you have so much hate.
Damn. You see, that's manipulation. There's no hate.
There is.
That's not a hate.
Sense of jealousy, it leads to hate. It's 1 and 1.
Jealousy comes from love.
That is not from love. Shots. That shit is that this man got mad. Wow, this nigga is just spit everything.
Jealousy absolutely comes from love.
That love 100%. The hate. This 100%. Man's a spiller. Oh my God, we got spillers on top of spillers out here. Our niggas need bibs.
Yeah, maybe you need shots. How about that? Why don't you shut the fuck up with your no drink water sipping ass?
You need a bib.
Mr. Tony, I'm too much of a bitch to have the liquor that's sitting right next to me, so I'm gonna talk shit about y'all having fuck out of here with your be a man shit.
Look at that manipulation right there.
Yeah,
but that nigga's trying to guilt trip me.
I'm hitting you with the reverse bullshit. You want to talk bullshit? I'm gonna hit you with it.
But Tony, the line between love and hate is real thin.
Super.
Actually,
it's so it's almost as thin as Doughboy's sensitivity. Almost. Just this is.
What does that even mean?
It's right there.
I think that love and hate like are a lot closer than people realize. I think the opposite of love is not hate. The opposite of love is apathy. And I think that I think a lot of these bad things in friendships come from a place of love. They also come from a place of hate, but the two are kind of mixed up.
If it's from Doughboy, it's hate. You can't spell Doughboy's name without the letter hate in it or the word hate in it. Can't. The man's hating on me and Felix's album review that we're doing. He's hating it. I don't know why. Maybe because Pucho shot down his albums, and then he's bringing. That's what it is. That's the real Twitch right there, ladies and gentlemen. And the Twitch, that's a fucking Twitch. That's a prime example of a Twitch. You shot him down, so now he wants to shoot me and Felix down.
All three of you shot me down. If you really want to be for real about it, okay.
No.
Hey,
Okay.
You
Hey,
shot
Pu-
yourself down.
hey, Pucho and Tony, do you guys want to start your own music podcast?
Yeah, this man. Yeah, you see how this is manipulation 101 in this motherfucker.
No.
Oh, he just walked off camera.
He ain't using the bathroom. He's
No.
over there crying.
So for the people, we're not talking like twitch.tv, right? This is
Oh,
a
yeah, yeah.
custom slang that only exists really in our friend group. We're basically just saying Twitch just means like a deflection. Like someone's coming to hit you with some bullshit and you're just gonna go and deflect it, not back, but to someone else.
Yeah.
So like
So
Tony just threw me. Go ahead.
The switch is when you deflect it back to the person. The twitch is when you deflect it to someone else.
Nah, that's a retwitch. You
No,
retwitch.
Tony's making a brand new word.
That's a thing. Well, me and Everett came up with that.
Well, because we also use switch, and the switch is when you deflect it back to the person that's giving the praha to you, right? But the
Yeah.
twitch is when you direct it to someone else that's not even involved.
These things aren't well defined.
Yeah,
But Twitch and Switch are closely interchangeable. I think Twitch is maybe a little bit more aggressive. Like Tony just threw me under the bus. Like he had his own thing, and he's just like, it's because Pucho shot his album down. I'm like, I have nothing to do with this. Like, why are you bringing me into your bullshit?
that is a twitch.
And it's untrue. I did not. All I said was that the Mac Miller album sounded a little bit like mumble rap. That was my only remark about the album. I don't understand how that constitutes a shoot down or shot down or.
That's how Doughboy took it.
I mean, it is how he took it. I don't understand it.
And for the listeners and the viewers out there, me and Pucho are master twitchers. Like Pucho will twitch it up, and I'll go and slam dunk that twitch real quick on Doughboy. I don't know what it is. There's me and Pucho find like a little happiness of just doing these conversations that we'll have with each other, and some way somehow flipping it on Doe, and then this man is just confused and lost. And shots, by the way, shots.
I'm just gonna say I don't agree with all of the Pucho slander that I hear in our little friend group here. Like calling Pucho a stickler or saying that he argues semantics all the time. I don't agree with this slander. I think that Pucho just wants language to be used correctly.
Fuck out of here! We call this man mathematical pooch.
Also, this is why the bottom part of the podcast is the strongest part of the podcast. We stand united.
Yeah, that's a fact. We're the foundation. We keep this shit up.
Y'all niggas better stand united. Y'all niggas fall apart. That's it, nigga. This whole shit collapse. All I'm saying is
we're the offensive linemen, man. We got to be the same height. We got to keep those defenders off, y'all.
Yeah,
why are you saying though? Give them the credit, though. Why are you saying though? You see how you just?
Can I ask you guys, how do you feel about the dad hat?
What is the dad hat? Is that with the curve? I always rocked the curve back in high school.
That's the dad hat.
I think there's certain styles of hats though. Like you're not like, is that like a snapback or is that like a fitted?
Snapback.
You can't have a
snapbacks,
fitted.
Yeah,
let me see the
snapbacks are curved.
sides. Let me see the sides. Put your headphones off a little bit.
Yeah,
that's a dad hat.
Yeah,
that's a Velcro strap. That hat.
It's not just the curve though. It's also the cut of the hat. Like you'll know if your ears are sitting in the hat, you're wearing like a ghetto bastard hat, for lack of a better term. The hats I love. I got a whole closet full of them. It's what we grew up wearing. It's what Doey always wears, right? But I don't know. The dad hat's coming on. Sometimes you want to just put on that hat that's made to just keep the sun out of your eye.
Yeah, facts. I've never worn a hat with this much of a bend on the brim.
I love those hats. I love them.
Snapbacks you bend all day. Fitteds, don't bend that shit.
I bend fitteds. I bend fitteds.
I think a slight bend. I think there's some percentage of bend that's acceptable. But you're not doing that full bend. No,
you're not getting this from a fitted.
Yeah, you do. Absolutely. Growing up, we play baseball. We cop fitteds to play baseball and shit. Like the trick is, and it's not the trick, it's the fuck up that we've been making forever. We buy our hats too big. You think you wear a 5 and 5/8? You fucking don't. You probably wear like a 5 and 1/8 tight. Just pull, and then you hit the bend, and your ears don't go in. Yeah,
I
that's
used
how
to
those
rock
hats.
that 8, the biggest hat size there was.
The 8 word. I'm bugging. I'm talking 5 and no, it's 7 and 5/8.
It's
Yeah,
That's the
7
number
and
I'm thinking.
5/8.
Dude,
I got a big fat head and a 5 head. Like I wear a big fitted whenever I wear a fitted.
sure. I'm just saying.
All my fitteds come from New York too. I think every fitted that I've ever owned, except for like one, has been purchased at Doey's little bodega he likes in New York.
I'm just saying, dude, I knew some straight up peanut head looking motherfuckers copping size 8 hats. Those are fucking massive.
They
Like,
got
it looks
gaps everywhere.
So
You could put like 2 fingers in.
So final thoughts. Do we need to consciously make efforts to be less manipulative, or is that the way friendship works?
kind of works, but I think some of it can be lessened.
Yeah, I definitely think it's both. I think we're definitely conditioned to manipulate our peers, but I also think that we need to check ourselves because the constant there's a balance, right? And this is the real problem, is that we're taught so much to be not confrontational, right? I think that's the main issue, is that we don't like to just say it how it is. Even Tony loves to be like, I just say it like it is, but he don't. When you ask him a direct question, you get the runaround. You don't
There's a
get the
deflection.
answer. You don't get the answer. So it's like, this is the problem, right? If someone tells you, yo, I want to hang out with you for sure, and then all you've seen is them hanging out with other people and doing all this other stuff, and so then naturally, or I say naturally, maybe not, that's a whole other thing about nature, but maybe how we're conditioned to be, we tell people like, yo, you're a piece of shit, you fucked up, or blah blah blah, and you want them to be better with you. But it's like, maybe y'all just not friends, and maybe somebody just needs to cut it off. Maybe somebody just needs to say like, yo, I loved you when we were younger, and we still cool now, but like, we're not like friends that are gonna be hanging out.
Yo, dope.
And maybe that'll just stop all the bullshit, you know?
I loved you when we were younger, bro, but I think it's time to cut the umbilical cord and go our own way.
The umbilical cord?
Yeah, he's been attached to me ever since 6th grade.
Where does that umbilical cord connect at onto? Is it belly button to belly button, or
Cock to cock?
I think
sure.
you're right. I think I have a unhealthy grasp with the people that I came up with that I don't want to let go. But if you want, man, be free.
Oh my God, we're getting a breakup here live on the One Up podcast.
I'm fucking with you, though. You're taking this shit too far.
Okay. It's healthy.
Sometimes it's healthy to have a little
Take a
break.
shot with me, bitch.
I read a book, Concrete Jungle. Nah, I didn't like it too much.
Yeah.
No.
These shots are going down rough tonight, boys.
Why is that?
But yeah, it's a lot of short stories. It wasn't a great book. It wasn't for me. But one guy, he created his own funeral even though he was alive.
You know, I actually like the concept of that. I do like the concept of that. If I had a terminal illness, I think it would be cool to have a living funeral. I think it would be rad as fuck to be like, I just want to experience that. I want to hear what people are going to say about me because I'm curious what my legacy is going to be. I'm curious what people are going to remember me for. I think it's interesting. I would also tell people, don't fucking hold back just because I'm here. I know I'm a piece of shit in some ways. Like, feel free. Go for it. Not to mention, I've already said I want my funeral to be like a party. So like, let's fucking go. You're gonna get up to do the eulogy. You're gonna take 3 shots when you get up to that podium. Like, we're gonna get you a little loose. We're gonna get those lips open.
Whoa, what's going on here?
The top lips.
What's wrong with cocks in your mouth, Tony? Why are you so against
I'm gonna get Doughboy excited. Remember what happened last episode? The man got super excited with all this cock shit.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I forgot all about that.
But yeah,
That's a good point.
back to the topic actually at hand. So much derailing here. Yeah, I think there is an equal a balance, like Pucho said. You know, we gotta lessen some of it and keep it going. But yeah, it's also healthy too. Because it's just like you're bored sometimes, or you just want to say, "Let me fuck with Doughboy, or let me fuck with Pucho or Mateo," and you know, it's all really funny games. You really don't want to hurt your friends' feelings and shit, but some people do take it.
I'm glad you only fuck with me when you're bored.
If that's what you took from this conversation, then
Yeah. See, that I was just Doey's the fucking best. That's why you got Doey's a living embodiment of all the things I want to talk about. Because I was just about to say, you're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. But like, if you don't fuck with me, I'm gonna give you shit about it. When you do fuck with me, ask Tony. Tony, I love you, my brother. You don't fuck with me like that, right? We like as the years have gone on, we've talked and hung out less and less. That's not a judgment on
I'm a
anybody.
father.
We're parents. We're both parents now. I caught the crib. Like we got different things going on in our lives, right? But it's interesting, right? Because like I hit you up and I'd be like, yo, bro, you don't fuck with me, blah, 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 blah. We have that whole conversation. When Tony does call me, what do I tell you, Tone?
Too
I'd be
busy
like,
to
you
talk.
calling me because you're driving, or you're calling me because I'm on vacation and you just want to see where I'm at, and it's like I guilt trip him when he doesn't fuck with me. I guilt trip him when he tries to fuck with me.
I used to
So that's
call.
what Doey just did right now. He's like, "Well, I'm glad you call me when you're bored." It's toxic. It's fucking toxic. I acknowledge it. I can't help it.
It's
I can't
funny.
help myself.
So here's a fun thing. One of my favorite things about recording this little podcast that we have going here with our 165 subscribers as of this particular moment,
And growing.
and growing, hopefully faster than it has been, but and growing.
You guys aren't
is-
appreciative of what we've gotten already. This is pretty fucking fast.
Guilt
I
trip.
have a DJ page,
Guilt
10
trip.
years old, 865 subs. So if we're getting to 160 something in less than a year, we're blessed. We just don't know it.
So, but one of my favorite things is that I have a dedicated slot every week to kick it with y'all. Like this, especially us doing our Friday recordings now where we drink and then we do our whole after hours hangout session typically and stay up till way too late in the fucking
Yeah,
morning.
niggas is bugged out.
Drugs.
But it's good stuff. I appreciate this. I mean I talk with y'all more than I talk to my buddies here in Austin, honestly, these days, because as y'all said, like life moves on. We get busy. There's a lot of growing that happens. There's a lot of other plans that happen. So this is nice. This is one of my favorite things. This is one of the highlights of my week is recording this with y'all.
You know what the highlight of this is?
I'm
also
glad to be a part of it, Mateo, and I appreciate you too.
Facts.
All right, that's it. Sorry, I didn't want you to just go off the fucking rails like we always
I'm
do.
sorry we don't play games more often. We can try to fix that, but I can't
I'm
make any
sorry.
promises because fucking weekends get busy
Sorry,
and
you're a
Joey
piece of
can't
shit.
play on weeknights because I'm not staying up till fucking midnight to play games with Joey.
Yeah, neither
You're
am
just a piece
I.
of shit. You hate Blizzard, so you don't play Overwatch with me no more. It's okay. It's whatever.
I wish Blizzard had been spanked more so I would feel comfortable like playing
Also,
their
you
games
saw
again.
that the last woman lead just left the company too. You see that shit?
Yeah.
The story around that's also pretty crazy. Basically, they hired a bunch of women to kind of like do a
Good
makeover on
PR.
their image, but they didn't change any of the problems that they had in studio. So all these women were just walking into harassment, walking into just
That's
pure
so
toxicity. And they all left one by one complaining and all this stuff. Meanwhile, they're making excuses and all this bullshit. And now all that's it. The last, I think it was the last woman producer or lead or something like that. They're gone. So
And
they're back to square one with the one piece of shit in charge again. So
And I think they're doing the Cosby thing where they're going to get off on some technicality with a fucking slap on the wrist. It was going to be a slap on the wrist either way, but it's like a lesser slap on the. It's like a one finger slap rather than a full hand slap.
Finally, Bobby Kotick is taking like a minimal salary because for the past 5 to 10 years. That's like the one thing everybody's been saying is like, how do you have such drainage on like a company, but you're paying this guy like 30-40 million dollars a year for nothing? So he's finally taking like a $60,000 salary.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it in some ways. I don't appreciate it because the motherfucker's already sitting on like, 200 million or something, whatever his net worth is. It's something crazy. So like it means a little bit less at this point. If you average out his pay, it's still several millions that he's making every year. So what does it matter? But Tony, get us into that next topic.
Been trying. Y'all derailments is insane. Since we're all drinking, let's take a quick shot.
I don't think it's insane. I think
you're not drinking.
Yeah, Tony's not drinking at all. I'm glad you called it out. A second ago, he's like, shots. The fuck are you, the quarterback?
He drank some water.
So yeah, I don't want to take a shot right now.
I want to take a shot with you.
Let's do it right now.
Do it, Tony.
Right live.
You gonna do a shot of water? What are you doing over there?
Motherfucking air right now. Oh shit! No. That's a lot of spillage.
Oh, he spilled. Look at this.
Sober spillage.
I need a bib.
All right, just put the drink down. You don't even get a drink.
Damn, I got my
Damn, he's got drinking problems, just like Airplane.
Oh wow, he pissed his pants.
Fuck, he got that all over his crotch.
I pulled a. Nah, let me stop.
So, yeah, you were leading us into the next.
Yeah,
topic.
I was leading us into the next topic.
To the promised land.
To the best lands.
Like Moses.
Alcohol.
To see, got the Hebrews out of slavery, took them to the promised land.
Shadow Moses.
Damn. Yeah, Metal Gear. Metal Gear Solid 1. Greatest game of all time.
Y'all should honestly put like trains right here just derailing because that's what the fuck y'all do here. Y'all just fucking derail. Alcohol.
But you said we just went in a full circle. Shit. Like we hit a derail and then we derailed and derailed. And when we derailed again, you think we're back on the original rail right now?
No.
We're on the fucking... I'm done.
This is the one-up way.
This is not the one-up way. This shit is the most aggravating way. This is some bullshit.
As the Mandalorian would say, this is the way.
This is the way.